Hi there, your Weather Watch continues. It is Thursday, it's the 15th of August. I'm Emily Vukovic, and we've got a bit of a pattern change on the way. We are going to be seeing temperatures today and even into tomorrow that are going to be slightly below seasonal, but come the weekend, the heat is on. We've got a warming trend and the heat and the humidity really starting to build. Are you a fan of wacky food and crazy midway rides? The CNE is going to be happening. Starts on Friday. It's going to be continuing through the weekend till the end of the month, and Saturday and Sunday. Don't let that rain freak you out. We do have that chance to see an isolated thunderstorm, but it's really going to be hit or miss, so it may not reach you in the area, or it might. So be prepared. Possibly bring your umbrella or a rain jacket just in case. Temperatures this afternoon, we're looking at 24, feeling more like 27. We do have a very slight risk to see some isolated thunderstorms, but mostly down towards the southwest. We don't really need to worry about them along the shores of Lake Ontario. It really is going to be along the shores of Lake Erie and up towards Lake Huron. So in through Hamilton and Niagara, yes, we do have the risk to see some storms. And if we do, the main threat is going to be some heavy rain. If you're going up towards cottage country today, it's going to be an absolutely beautiful afternoon. Temperatures comfortable into the mid-20s. Now for tomorrow, temperatures bumping up just slightly. We'll see a daytime high of 25 degrees in through Barrie, getting up to 26, Mount Forest 25. And in through Saturday, the heat really starts to build. We've got a southwesterly flow. That's going to be moving on all the humidity. And by Sunday, 29, feeling more like the mid to upper 30s. All right, you're out on a kayak, you're enjoying the water, and all of a sudden, you manage to avoid this. Take a look. It's Thursday, it is August the 15th. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks so much for joining us. We've got a switch in the upper air pattern. We've been a little bit below our seasonal average for the last couple of days, and that's going to continue to be the trend for at least today and into tomorrow. We've kind of had a lack of national temperature extremes. Everything's becoming a little bit more zonal. We've got a couple of lows moving their ways right across the prairies, and that's cooling things down. That's what's keeping us relatively cool as well. Now, we do have the risk to see a few isolated thunderstorms, but more so down towards the southwest, in through places like Hamilton and in through places like Niagara. That's the kind of bullseye we're going to have to worry about today in through the GTA. But if we do see these thunderstorms, the greatest threat is just going to be some heavy rain. All right, taking a look at our conditions for tomorrow. Could see an isolated thunderstorm. Conditions are there. There's enough instability. It looks as though tomorrow is going to be a little bit more widespread than today. And the temperatures are going to be heating up. It's going to feel more like 30 for the city of Toronto. Come Saturday, our daytime high of 26. Could very well see a few isolated thunderstorms throughout the area, but I think Sunday is going to be our best chance. We've got a cold front coming in, a lot of lift, a lot of instability. This is where we could see some decent thunderstorms. That's going to be increasing by the end of the weekend, and it's going to be very sticky. We're looking at a daytime high of 26 for Saturday, feeling more like 33. Come Sunday, even hotter, 29, feeling more like 37. All right, we are in the heart of hurricane season. Here's Jacqueline Whittle with an update. Thanks for joining us. Your Weather Watch continues on this Thursday. It is August the 15th. I'm Emily Vukovic, and we've got another decent day moving in through parts of Ontario and much of eastern Canada. We have a warming trend through the weekend as the ridge builds. It is going to be a hot weekend, possibly unsettled, but it's going to be hot. If you are heading to the CNE this weekend, conditions, yes, it's going to be warm. It's going to feel like 33 on Saturday and feel more like 37 come Sunday. We do have the chance to see some isolated thunderstorms. The better chance is going to be on Sunday, but we still could be dealing with some unsettled weather, so be prepared for that if you do head down to the grounds. This afternoon, the humidity, not too bad. We're going to be seeing a daytime high of 24 degrees, and we do have the slightest risk to see some isolated thunderstorms firing up, but mostly down towards the south. We are going to be seeing the risk increase throughout the day tomorrow. We've got that stronger chance, a little bit more cape, a little bit more energy, a little bit more lift to see some isolated cells firing up throughout the day. Now, the risk map for today keeps it down to the south, so Hamilton, you could be included in this over towards Niagara. The main threat with these thunderstorms, heavy rain. And if you're heading up to the cottage for this afternoon, looking pretty good. Daytime highs into the mid-20s and lots of sunshine. The instability in that rain, that's going to stay well to the south. So it looks like today for you looks good. Now for tomorrow, we bump up to about 25 degrees, but we do have that risk for the isolated thunderstorms, as I just showed you. And then Saturday, 26, but feeling more like the low 30s. And then into Sunday, 29, feeling like the upper 30s. The humidity is on the way, and you can see that southerly flow, that southwesterly wind, that's going to be bringing in all of that heat. All right, everybody is trying to become plastic free these days. Well, Kim McDonald recently found out how you and your pet can be plastic free. Take a look. How amazing is that? What do you say, like 10 times, 20 times? That's how many times they practice it? I don't even know, but it's very cool. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks for joining us today. We've been talking about the warm-up, the building humidity for the weekend. It's not so much going to be happening today. We're going to see a nice day today, 24, feeling more like 27, so it's certainly not going to be stifling hot. We do, however, have a risk to see some isolated thunderstorms, but more so down towards the south. So if you're in Hamilton or over towards Niagara, that's kind of your best bet. That's where we could see those storms fire up throughout the day today. Oh, look, have they taken Hamilton out of it? No. Okay, so we're still into the Hamilton region, over towards Niagara, London, down through Windsor. Temperatures throughout the day today, widespread. Mid-20s, Niagara getting a little bit warmer, and that could add just a little bit more instability to that thunderstorm risk. Throughout the day tomorrow, we do have that risk to see those storms continue, and there's just a little bit more lift. There's just a little bit more instability just ahead of this cold front, a little bit more cape, more energy. So we could be dealing with them more so throughout the day tomorrow afternoon and into the evening. Now, the humidity is really going to start to build. We are going to be seeing our daytime highs hitting the mid-20s, but feeling more like the low 30s by Saturday and feeling more like the upper 30s by Sunday. So if you thought these last couple of days where temperatures were below seasonal and summer was over, it's not. All right, this next story is absolutely adorable. A grandmother is interested in visiting all the state national parks. Thanks so much for joining us here on the Weather Network. I'm Emily Vukovic. It is Thursday. It is the 15th of August, and we've got a bit of a pattern change. For the next couple of days, we've got an area of low pressure to the north, and we're just going to have a series of them kind of flooding their way in. And so we're not going to have major temperatures extreme right across the country. However, we are going to be seeing a ridge building into the east by the weekend, and that means our temperatures are going to be going up, as is our humidity. Now for today, we do have a slight risk to see an isolated thunderstorm. You can see those cells coming through later on today and through the afternoon and evening. It's going to stay mostly down towards the southwest, but tomorrow we've got a little bit more cape, a little bit more energy, a little bit more instability because it's going to be ahead of a cold front that's moving through. That's going to give us a greater risk to see those storms firing up. So we're looking at anywhere from Kincardine towards Hamilton and in through the Niagara region. The biggest threat with these thunderstorms is going to be heavy rain. All right, temperatures for Friday, they bump up slightly, still below our seasonal average, which should be around 26, 25 degrees, but the humidity, that's going to start to rise, and that could actually be an added ingredient to the active weather that we potentially could see. Feeling more like 30 on Friday. By Saturday, we're looking at a daytime high of 26, but it's going to feel more like the low 30s. Saturday, risk of isolated thunderstorms, and then Sunday, as we get through the day, this cold front, that's going to be pushing through, and the thunderstorm risk, it is going to be increasing over the weekend. Throw in a little bit of humidity, and that risk certainly goes up. Feeling more like 33 for Saturday, daytime high of 26. As we get to Sunday, feeling more like the upper 30s. All right, imagine you were kayaking, and this happened to you. Watch this. Taking a look at your morning brief, Marta, Nicole, and Emily with you, and mosquitoes. How much do you guys love mosquitoes?
Love mosquitoes.
Oh, they're awful little creatures, aren't they? Well, here are reasons, well, ways, I guess, you can avoid getting eaten alive this summer. Take a look. I think there's some other things too, like your blood type has something to do with it.
Yeah, so you said that they don't like blood type.
I think it's they don't like it or they do like it. I can't remember.
They liked O.
But for some, I don't get bit by mosquitoes, and it's not because I don't shower or like not wear perfume or any of those things.
Is it?
I don't.
They love me.
I think if you and I were together, they would attack you, and I would maybe get like one mosquito bite.
Maybe I'm too clean because they like the.
She took a jab at you.
She smells wonderful.
Wait a minute. Hold on a second. All right.
You know what though? Bats are your friends if you don't like mosquitoes because they eat mosquitoes.
Right.
Yeah,
I was wondering where you were going with that. So Nicole would like some bats to live in her house.
I was just thinking this because when we were at the cottage over our vacation last week, all of a sudden I was pulling up the umbrella.
Okay.
Bats were living in it. And they just started flying all over the place.
Did you scream and run?
I made my husband bang them out. Yeah.
That's amazing.
Total segue.
Okay, let's talk about what's happening in the West. Welcome to the morning brief. Martin, Nicole, and Emily with you. And nobody likes getting eaten by mosquitoes.
No one does like them.
But did you guys know that there are some things that you can do to actually prevent them from biting you?
Let's find out more.
Very interesting. I mean, we were just talking about blood type. Apparently that has something to do with it too. If you're an O blood type, mosquitoes tend to like you more. But I kind of disagree with that because I'm O blood type and mosquitoes don't like me at all.
They don't? Are you often in areas that have a lot of mosquitoes?
Well, yeah, and if I'm with somebody who the mosquitoes love, like you, if you and I were together, you would get eaten alive, and I would maybe have like 1 or 2 mosquito bites. And it's not because I don't shower, and I like the odd cocktail. No, so I mean, and I wear perfume. So yeah.
Maybe you're the exception to the O rule.
I'm wondering if I've just been bitten so much in my lifetime, like when I was younger and went camping, I'm just like immune now.
At the beginning of the summer, I always get like some big thing on my forehead and my eye, like this big bulge.
Do you swell up?
And like somewhere on my face. And then as in the next few weeks, they don't bother me.
So I wonder if you get immune to it.
Maybe you can. But it's a story to look into. Here's another story. The weather across the country. We'll kick it off in the west. Chances
expert.
Your Weather Watch continues on this Thursday. It is the 15th of August. I'm Emily Vukovic, and in just a few moments, meteorologist Dr. Doug Gillum is going to be joining me. He's going to take us through the long-range forecast. He's going to let us know about the weekend. If you do have outdoor plans, you're going to want to prepare potentially for some stormy weather. But I'll let him give you all those details. I'll talk about the here and the now, what we can expect for this afternoon. We do have the risk for scattered shower, possibly an isolated thunderstorm, but the thunderstorm risk is going to be more so down towards the south. As you can see, the energy just along the shores of Lake Erie goes up towards Lake Huron, but for the most part, Lake Ontario looks as though we'll see a passing shower potentially, but not a lot of thunderstorm activity. For tomorrow, a bit of a different story. The Cape, the thunderstorm energy gets a little bit higher. We've got a little bit more instability, so tomorrow is kind of a better chance than today. Here's the thunderstorm risk. It stretches through Kincardine all the way over towards Hamilton. Niagara is included in this. The biggest threat if we do see a decent thunderstorm is really just going to be the heavy rain. Now this evening, if you're planning on heading out, again, chance of a few isolated showers for much of the GTA and up towards cottage country. And then tomorrow morning, we're going to start off relatively mild, 18 degrees with a mix of sun and cloud. And then as we get into the afternoon, temperatures are going to start to build higher, and we're going to start to see that humidity move into our region. But for more on what's happening this weekend, I'm going to bring in Dr. Doug. Meteorologist Dr. Doug joining me now, and we're getting into the weekend. Temperatures are where we want them to be, but what's with the weather?
Well, it's going to be muggy. We're going to really feel that humidity, and with that will come the threat for thunderstorms. And it's a tricky forecast. There's no reason to cancel a trip to the cottage, but if you have outdoor plans, you're really going to have to check back on the day to see the timing of those thunderstorms. We've got really 2 threats. One comes in the late overnight into early Saturday, and then the threat comes back again during the late day with the heat and humidity. Then most of Sunday is rain-free, but that threat for storms will come back at the end of the day. And those storms could pack more of a punch because temperatures will be near 30. That humidex approaches 40, so any storms that develop will have torrential rain and some strong winds.
All right, good to know. The temperature pattern as we get into next week looks pretty good.
Summer weather, especially during the first half of the week. Some of this cooler weather will be pushing in during the second half of the week, but on Monday, again, near 30, the humidex near 40. Similar story for Tuesday, and you see the showers and thunderstorms in the icon. Not a washout, but each day we'll have that threat for some scattered showers and thunderstorms. A little better chance of some widespread rain on Wednesday as a front comes through. And what that will do is, and that's not going to bring fall weather. It'll just,
hope not.
It'll just take us back near seasonal for a couple of days at the end of the week.
All right, thanks, Doug. Thanks for joining us on the Morning Brief. Martin, Nicole, and Emily with you. And recently we've heard of stories of bats on a plane. We've now just had a story come out this morning of birds on a plane in Moscow. Now, we've been talking about condensation, heat, humidity. Imagine this happened to you while you were just about to take off.
Thank God they were just on the tarmac, though. Can you imagine if that happened in the air?
No, I would freak out.
Oh no, that would be a whole different story.
I think I'd freak out even on the tarmac.
It's terrifying. You know who I would never be in those situations? The person filming it.
Yeah.
Like, who are those
I don't
people?
think I would pull out my phone. That wouldn't be my first instinct.
Well, if I was
It
with
might
my-
be now.
I mean, if you were with your kids,
Yeah, my
you'd
kids.
be more so kind of damage controlling their reaction to it.
I don't know. I feel like my kids would be entertained.
Maybe.
They'd be like, whoa, we can't see anything. This is great. They'd be running up and down the aisle. It'd be chaos.
scary.
It would be chaos. Okay, let's switch our gears to some active weather today. We are going to be seeing the chance of isolated thunderstorms yet again. Your Weather Watch continues on this Thursday. It's the 15th of August. I'm Emily Vukovic, and we're looking at a pretty decent day today. We may see a passing shower throughout the GTA, possibly even a thunderstorm, but for the most part, pretty decent forecast. 24 degrees, feeling more like 27. That gives us an indication that the humidity is starting to build back into our region. Now, looking at the thunderstorm energy in the Cape, it doesn't quite reach the city of Toronto. It's going to stay more along the shores of Lake Erie today. But tomorrow, see how it's all widespread? Better chance of some isolated thunderstorms throughout the GTA and up towards Cottage Country. Today, the risk takes us down towards the southwest. Hamilton's included in this, as well as Niagara. But the biggest risks are probably going to just be torrential rain if we do see them. This afternoon, right across the board, temperatures a couple of degrees below our seasonal average. We should be at around 26 for the city of Toronto right now. So 24, not bad, still really comfortable. We do start to warm up, however. Tomorrow, we're going to get up to 25. It is going to feel more like 30 when you factor in that humidity. And then over the weekend, the heat and the humidity is really going to build. So we do have a good chance to see some isolated thunderstorms. Saturday, yes, but more so throughout the day on Sunday because that heat and humidity is really going to fire up. And that's going to cause a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and that is what's going to be bringing us those isolated storms. So if we look at the moisture and the humidity returning, we are going to continue to see those values bump up into the low 20s by Saturday. So we're looking at the humidex of about 33. And then by Sunday, it is going to feel more like 40. And that trend, that's going to continue into early next week. So Toronto, risk of thunderstorms, I know it's everywhere. It's because of the heat. That's what it is, causing all of that instability. Don't cancel your outdoor plans, but just be prepared that you may see a passing shower or thunderstorm over the weekend. Okay, take a look at what happened to one family when they were just out on a boat ride. Beautiful sunny day for it too. I'm Emily Vukovic. Thanks for joining us. We're talking about this upper air pattern that is literally giving us not a lot of temperature extremes right across the country. We do have a bit of a trough towards the east, and that's what's keeping our temperatures at seasonal or even slightly below because we're getting a bit of cool air filtering in from the north. Now, we do have the ridge building into the east for the weekend. Our temperatures are going to really heat up. Thunderstorm risk for today, down towards the southwest. By tonight, it eases, and then throughout the day tomorrow, it is starting to build up towards the lower Great Lakes. So for today and tomorrow, our better chance to see a storm tomorrow afternoon. But down towards Hamilton and in through Niagara, all the way down through London and Windsor, that's where we could see the thunderstorm risk for today. And if you do see those thunderstorms, the biggest threat, that's going to be the heavy rain. Looking at the temperature for tomorrow, we've got a daytime high of 25. That's getting closer to seasonal. We should be around 26 for this time of year. But the humidity is going to start to build back in, and that is going to add as an added ingredient to the thunderstorm activity that we could see fire up. So it's going to feel more like 30 tomorrow. By Saturday, again, risk of isolated thunderstorms, 26, but feeling a lot warmer. And then for Sunday, we've got this cold front moving through, and that's going to trigger off some decent thunderstorms just ahead of this front, because by Sunday, temperatures are going to be into the high 30s, and they're going to feel like, temperatures are going to be in the high 20s, but they're going to feel like the low 30s. Take a look at this next amazing story.
Well, there is some active weather in through the prairies, bringing with it some significant rainfall amounts, and that's because of an upper trough that's bringing with it this continuous active weather. And if you take a quick look, it's going to be pushing down in through the northern part of BC, and that rainfall, well, it can turn into snow. So there will be some snowfall accumulation. For more stories like this, head to our website at theweathernetwork.com.
You're watching the Weather Network. It is Thursday. It is the 15th of August. I'm Emily Vukovic. Good news and bad news. If you don't love the heat and humidity, this weekend might be a little rough for you. But if you do love the heat and humidity, this weekend is going to be perfect for you. We've got a ridge that's developing, and this is going to really heat us up over the weekend. I'll show you what our temperatures are going to be looking like and our humidex values. For example, tomorrow, 25, feeling like 30, risk of an isolated thunderstorm. This is if you're going to the CNE. Saturday, we do have temperatures getting up to about 26, risk of an isolated thunderstorm, but the risk gets a lot higher throughout the day on Sunday, 29, feeling like 37. Today, feeling like 27, so about a 10-degree difference with how it's going to feel between today and into Sunday. Now, we do have the risk to see a few isolated thunderstorms down towards the southwest today. Tomorrow, that risk is going to increase more so along the shores of Ontario. We could see an isolated thunderstorm popping up throughout the afternoon and into the evening hours. For today, our risk stays towards Kincardine, over towards Hamilton, down towards Niagara. That's kind of the best area for thunderstorms to develop. And if we do see them, the biggest threat is going to be some heavy rain. Temperatures through cottage country are absolutely beautiful this afternoon, mid-20s, lots of sunshine, and as we get closer to the weekend, things are really starting to heat up. Speaking of temperatures heating up, could you believe that August we haven't hit a 30-degree day yet? I know. Kelly Sonnenberg has more details.
Well, I think when you speak to most people in Southern Ontario and the Greater Toronto area, they tell you this summer so far has been pleasant, comfortable, warm, in comparison to last summer, where we certainly dealt with more extreme heat. Let's take a look at August so far. We're about halfway through the month, and whites in Southern Ontario suggesting temperatures pretty close to seasonal. The blues in through Eastern Ontario, some areas trending a degree or two below seasonal, but that's still very comfortable, and we're only halfway through the month. Let's compare to last August, where we saw 7 days of 30-degree temperatures or warmer. We haven't seen one day crack 30 degrees yet this August. Now, we're only halfway through the month, and that looks to be changing as we head into early next week, where Sunday afternoon, Toronto Pearson, this forecast model suggesting we reach 30 degrees, a few other areas in through Southern Ontario and the GTA as well. Monday afternoon, a second day where we could be reaching 30 degrees, and we'll have to closely monitor Tuesday afternoon as well. So if you're a fan of the extreme heat, this is the forecast for you.
All right, thanks so much for that, Kelly. And I'm going to kind of repeat what she just showed you, but I actually have icons that show the potential for thunderstorms as well. So on Sunday, the thunderstorm potential is going to increase throughout the day because, as Kelly was saying, the heat is really going to be rising. The humidity is really going to be rising. It is going to feel more like 37 come Sunday. And that's going to stick around for Monday and into Tuesday. That is going to increase the thunderstorm risk. We've got more details coming up in your local forecast right now.